Today I interviewed a mate of mine, Rob Taylor. He is a journalist in South Africa, and Rob was caught out very much like a lot of people have been caught out at the moment, short of funds, and he had to look for an alternative source of revenue. So Rob went off and he actually found a training course where he learned how to teach English to people all around the world. Rob's actually found it very successful and is doing exceptionally well in it. So this interview is an interview with Rob where we discuss alternative sources of revenue, or specifically teaching English. And over and above that, Rob talks about his radio show, what he's doing now during the coronavirus breakdown, and then he does a little introduction to a future interview that we'll do with Rob with regards to bullying. So listen to the interview. It's very, very informative. For the Patreon viewers, if you tier 1 Patreon viewer, you'll only get this highlight of the interview. If you tier 2, you get the full interview, and if you tier 3, we'll discuss various items during the interview, pull out little bits and pieces and discuss the importance or the learnings from each part of the interview.
I think that's one thing that everybody needs to realize, is that your job might not be safe tomorrow. And I'm sure we've heard that on many occasions, especially now with the whole COVID-19 scenario. We don't know how long we're going to be locked up for, inverted commas. We don't know which businesses are going to suffer. And we also don't know where our job's going to be in months, 3 months, 4 months. I've had a youngster who signed up, I think, about a week ago, if not 8 or 9 days ago. He finished his course today. He did the same course that I did because he's got the time. He's on lockdown. He finished within 8 days. The chihuahua biting at your ankles, that's what I did once I started applying for positions. Because what people need to realize is that once you've done the course, it's now up to you to apply. And it's like then applying for a normal job, okay, where you send your application through. They might not even come back to you. They might come back to you and say, you've got an interview. Then it's about preparing for an interview. Very difficult when you haven't done it before. So you need to plan as much as you can and get yourself into a position where you've watched a lot of videos. There's plenty of videos to watch how people do it. I've even said to people, come to me, come sit down with me. You can see what I do, how I do it. And yeah, the getting jobs basically was keep on trying. And it's a tough industry where it's so much happening that if you apply now and you haven't got, in 6 months' time, you apply again, they've forgotten about you. They've totally forgotten who you are. I've taught sometimes 8 classes, 9 classes, 12 classes in a row with a 4-minute break in between. But that's the only way. And number one, the company sees that you're available. They see that you're willing. And also, every class that you do is going to make you improve for the next class. And that's what you want to do. And gives you confidence then when you apply for other positions. The first thing you do is, when a company approaches you initially and says, yes, we want to hire you, you grab it with both hands and both feet. Doesn't matter about the salaries. So your first company that you work for, don't worry about income, because guess what? Yesterday you were earning nothing. Today you're going to be earning something. Like when you're applying for any position, any job in the marketplace, they might just not like the person. People buy people. And if they don't like you, it doesn't mean you're bad. They just didn't hit it off with you initially in your interview. So it's unfortunate. What do? You move on to the next one. So to be very choosy at the end of the day, yeah, they must like you. I find dealing with foreign companies is fantastic until you have a problem. Then sometimes they don't understand. There's a language barrier. But you get through it, you get over it, you move on, and you realize that you need them. They don't need you, because they can just move on to the next teacher that's on the line. So as much as you can, but I wouldn't be too picky and choosy about who suits. You will suit companies. They will suit you. One of the main and I like to promote their course. I thought, wow, and it's a course that I did. Let me do this. And basically, what happens is they would approach me. So if you want to do a course, you say, Rob, I'd like to do the course, and then I then send you a link, and the link has the courses that are available, and I will give you specifics about which ones to go for, which ones not to go for, because I'm not going to give you a course that is not going to be no benefit to you down the line. It must be the course that you use. And then they send you, you pay your money, and they send you, and it's virtually immediate. There's no waiting period from the time that you say, right, I'm ready, and you pay for the course to the time that you actually get it. It's as soon as they see a transfer has been made, whether it's landed in their account or not, I'm not 100% sure, because it is an international transfer, but it's same day service, which I think is excellent. And then off you go and you do your course. And once your course is done, I've said to every single person that has done a course via me that I will assist you with the afters, with the applying. Where do you need to apply? How do you need to apply? What websites to go onto to have a look, and what to watch videos. You need to sort of prepare yourself for an interview, or prepare yourself for your first teaching class, because you'll probably do a demo. Heck of difficult to do a demo you've done it before without watching somebody else do it. So those types of things. But to contact me, quite simply, is rob@bayfm.co.za. And then what I would do is I would chat to the guys and then send a link to them where they can then, and the nice thing about it as well is when I send a link and somebody responds to the link, it then goes to the company. The company then will email me immediately and say, Joe Soap has just sent us, we'll send him the information and we will keep you in the loop. So they keep me in the loop all the time.
Yeah, I mean, to put that to actually agree with you there. I remember Luto when he was still at school. Because he played three years with Kai Majorowicz, and I remember the last Kai Majorowicz he played was actually in Port Elizabeth. So it was a home game, a home tournament. They had TV stations. They had all come to interview him, and then I didn't see him again for another about 3 years. And he still walked up to me, greeted me by name. Extremely, it was amazing that after 3 years of not seeing me, he still remembered who I was. He's that kind of a person. He's a phenomenal character.
Yeah, and I think that's what people need to realize as well, is that when a sports person is on the court or on the field, they a total different personality at times to when they are behind the scenes. Cricket, they're going to be aggressive and have a go and shout and scream at each other, but they're totally different people off of the field. And I think the humbleness of any youngster needs to filter through. It doesn't matter how much cricket or rugby or football that you play. I think you got to look at the top footballers around the world, how humble most of them are. They might look the man on the field, but when you actually interview them, they're down to earth. They're looking after each other. They're looking after kids, and that's what it's all about. But yeah, we try and get as much as possible of youngsters, and it's not about you. Well, I just spoke to you now, so in a year's time you better be playing for the Proteas. It's not about that. It's about giving the kids exposure, giving them their opportunity, and at the end of the day, hopefully some of them will be top of the tree at some stage, and then we gladly say, well, remember me, I actually did an interview so many years ago, and I think that's what it's all about, is giving to young sports people on how to interview, how to relax, and have come back over the years. I remember doing a lot of water polo. came back. The second one, about 8 months later, and came back and they left the school. Yeah, it is a massive problem, and it's the one thing I pull my hair out virtually every day is the apathy of schools, the apathy of parents, the apathy of people to say there is a problem, major problem in our country as well as around the globe. And yeah, I try and do my best to try and assist as much as I can, but it's a war. We're fighting a war against the virus right now, and the war against the virus we will be able to eventually overcome if we do the right things. The war against bullying is one that's going to be around. It's been around since you were at school, since I was at school. And are we things? I don't think so, because it's actually getting worse than getting any better. And what people don't realize is that a bully child, that can affect them for the rest of their life, alone just while school. So it's something that needs to be spoken about, and something that we need to try and make anything, which is easy, but we try our best. But I think it's all about taking ownership of the problem. And that, when I say that, it's our teachers, school children, and parents taking ownership of trying to solve it.